Watch Dr. Drew's new show at 9 on HLN. Weeknights on HLN.
Penn State under fire tonight. The university is excluded from the right to know law, which means the school doesn't have to reveal their private records. CNN's Drew Griffin reports not only did Penn State's president himself request this in 2007, he did it right around the time, strangely enough, around the time that Jerry Sandusky was facing some sexual abuse allegations with the grand jury investigation. Listen to this.
It's the type of information we would normally get in the United States from any public institution, especially a police department. The records, the incident reports, all the information you rely on to get the facts to know who knew what, when, and where. But Penn State, you will not find that because Penn State got itself an exemption from this state's Open Records Act. At the same time, in 2000-2008, when the legislature was discussing this new law, Penn State's president personally went to the legislature and asked to be exempt to make sure the records were kept private.
Joining me now to discuss this is former Miami-Dade County Judge Karen Mills Francis and Pennsylvania State Senator Kim Ward. She is writing a bill that would require all employees of universities to report suspected child abuse to the person in charge of the institution and a child abuse reporting hotline. And Terry Muchler, she's an attorney and the executive director of the Pennsylvania Office of Open Records. Terry, first to you, what can you tell us about this right to know law? What's going on there?
The Pennsylvania right to know law was adopted really as a result of several scandals in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania had among the worst right to know laws in the nation. It was one of the very few states, if not the only state, that had the legal presumption that a record was closed. If a citizen went to a school district, a township, a police department, the citizen had to prove why that record was available. There was a culmination and a public outcry after 3 distinct scandals in Pennsylvania that caused the legislature in 2008 to rewrite this law. Now, Pennsylvania enjoys a very strong right to know law. However, as you mentioned on the show earlier, there are some exceptions, and the one key exception that we're talking about tonight, of course, are involving 4 state-related institutions: Penn State, Temple, Pitt, and Lincoln. And they enjoy an exemption that most similarly situated universities do not enjoy across the United States. And also, if you're a state-owned university in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, your records are fully disclosable.
They enjoy an exemption. Those are words that sort of disturb me, I must tell you. Now, Senator Ward, I want to go to you now. Apparently, part of the problem with this overall circumstance of this child abuse situation on this campus is that in Pennsylvania, Judge Karen and I were talking here, in Pennsylvania, unlike most states, you're not required to report seeing a child abuse. You're required to report it to your administration, but not to social services. Is that right?
Correct. The situation at Penn State was that Mr. McQuarrie reported to his superior, and that is the present law. The law that I'm just proposed this week would mandate that you go to the head of the institution and to the Department of Public Welfare's Child Line. And Child Line in Pennsylvania is the entity that takes the hotline calls for mandated reporters. And they have a certain amount of number of hours to then respond.
Senator, I hope that the citizens of Pennsylvania are listening loud and clear to your legislation, because this is ridiculous that it's not like this. It's only common sense.